Happy Wednesday. My butt is back at work. How was everyone's new year? Today is a new day of the new year. It's January 1st, 2025. We made it, y'all. We made it to 2025. Isn't that crazy? It seems like really crazy to me because, hold on, I'm putting my phone. I graduated in 2000, right? From high school. Yeah, I know, I'm so old. And I just realized yesterday when I was thinking about the new year and how it's 2025, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's been 25 years. 25 years since I graduated high school. And my life turned out nothing like I thought it would. It did. Like, I have a daughter in high school, right? My oldest is college age, but my youngest is in high school. And she has been in high school, you know, they want to have you make like a 5-year plan kind of a thing. What you're going to do after high school, how you're going to achieve your goals that you want to meet after high school. And my youngest keeps telling me that she wants to go to like culinary school, possibly art school, but she keeps mentioning like culinary school more. And she wants to do it like preferably out of state or something. And I laugh because at her age, at my youngest exact age, that was my 5-year game plan. In my valedictorian speech, I was like, thank you everybody, I'm gonna go to culinary school. I never did. I never made it. I still love to cook. I still love to cook. I love to bake. But I never actually went to school for it. I enlisted in the military instead because I thought I could get money for school that way. And then I learned that the military, like most governments, just lie to you. And what they say they'll do for you, they don't do. Or they just hide things. So like I enlisted because supposedly it was going to pay for my schooling, right? And then I took a test and I scored really, really high on the test. And they really, really wanted me because I scored really high. And so they moved my like enlistment date was supposed to be 8 months after I signed the paperwork. And I swear to God, it hadn't even been 4 weeks, y'all. Not even 4 weeks after I signed it with a ship out date. I was like, they have another word for it, but I can't remember right now. With the date that I was supposed to go into the Navy. And then I get a phone call. And it was my recruiter, and he was like, hey, you know, a spot opened up, and they moved your ship out date to next week. Do you think you can make it? And I was like, next week? You said 6 months. I am not ready. Well, the military don't care because, you know, I had already signed paperwork, and they were like, well, it doesn't matter if you're ready or not. The plane's leaving. You better be on it. And I was like, okay, crap. So then I had to, you know, hurry up and get rid of all my stuff, find things to do with like my car, which I ended up giving to my brother, and all my stuff. I literally just gave it all away. I was like, oh, you like planes? Here's my collection of planes. Oh, you like ships? Here's my collection of postcard ships. You like stamps? Here's my stamp collection. It's literally what I did to everything I owned. I just gave it away. And then I had just a bag. I had a shoulder bag. And I left California. And I went to Illinois. And I got on base, and I never left base, and that was a tragedy. Because I was like, when I first, after boot camp, because you all know you got to do boot camp first. Like, I thought everyone knew that. You had to do boot camp before you really did anything. But my recruiter had told me that once I completed boot camp, I would get my stripes, so I'd be a petty officer. And I would get money for school. I was supposed to get like a $10,000 bonus for enlisting. That never came. I think I was more butthurt about the $10,000 bonus and the stripes than any of the other BS that I had to deal with. Like being assaulted and all kinds of other crap, you know. That happens when you are a female housed with men. It's just not good, you know. My friend, I had a friend who they kicked out of the military because there was a rumor going around, you know, and this was back when the don't ask, don't tell was going on. And we didn't ask, and she didn't tell, but there was some jealous people that were like upset that this particular girl was doing really well. Like, she was doing really well. She knew her stuff, let me tell you that. I don't know if she was like in a ROTC program before or what, but she made the rest of us look bad because she was so good at all the boot camp stuff, right? Like all the folding your bed, getting your clothes ready, shining your boots. She was good. She knew how to do all this stuff. And there was some people who were really upset about it. Namely, there was this guy. There was this guy who was upset that this girl didn't like him. And I'm like, dude, we're in the freaking military. No one's supposed to be liking anyone right now. We have a job to do. But tell that to a guy with a heart on, right? So he got really upset that he got rebuffed. And then he started rumors that obviously this girl didn't like him because she was into other girls. And so the military, like our CO, brought her in and asked her questions. And she didn't deny it, I guess. She didn't deny that she preferred women to men. I mean, fuck, I wouldn't have denied it either, because guys are disgusting. Like, shit, I'm not here to find a husband, people. I'm here to get money for school or a job. She had nowhere else to go. Like, literally, she had gotten kicked out, was living on the streets when a recruiter came up to her and was like, hey, you know, there's this opportunity. So she enlisted. And these freaking jack-offs in the upper echelons kicked her out. They discharged her. They were like, we don't need people like you. And I was like, yes, you do. But I was so upset. I was so upset when they kicked her off. I staged a protest. And started a church. I was mad. I was so mad. I swear half of us were going to walk out in protest. And matter of fact, we only didn't do it because our friend said not to. She was like, don't make this a big, huge thing, you know. And, you know, the military said that if I didn't cause a big stink, they would just, you know, cancel my contract kind of thing. And otherwise, because they had the power to not cancel our contract, but find us in default and then pretty much put us in prison for 3 to 4 years, you know. That's what happened to me. I ticked off a CO who didn't like my attitude. Well, really, he didn't like that I wouldn't confess to something I didn't do, and that I wasn't giving information to something I didn't know anything about. Like, this guy was so positive that I was some huge drug dealer with big, huge connections. He was so positive that if I hadn't, like, discharged, this guy threatened me with 5 years in Leavenworth. And I'm like, you can't prove nothing because there's nothing to prove. But he wasn't hearing it. So it was like, he told me that if he could find anyone on this base, if he could find anyone who would recognize me, he was going to make it his life's mission to make sure I got at least 5 years in Leavenworth. And I'm like, dude, I socialize. My friends have been dragging me around this base, you know, since I got here, meeting one person after another. I know people. I'm not selling drugs. I'm not doing drugs. I'm not dealing drugs. I'm not. Oh my Lord. That military actually was the first time I ever learned about, like, heroin and stuff. Not because I was doing it or anything, like, I wasn't. But that was the problem they were having on base. And the funny thing, the thing that really scared me was a couple weeks before, my bunkmate had taken me to a local party because she was local. She was from Chicago. So she took me to, like, her hometown and was like, we're going to go to a friend's house and he's having a party. And I was like, well, I don't know about that. And she was like, well, he's a sailor too. And I'm like, oh, okay, well then, you know, that'll be fine. You know, can't get any in trouble if we're going to, you know, another shipmate's house, right? Well, I met this guy, this really cute guy. And I liked him, and we hung out for a while. And then a couple weeks later, I find out that he was kind of doing stuff that the military frowns upon. And so I distanced myself really quickly because I was like, oh, no, sorry. So when I got hauled up before the JAG, and this lawyer officer was like questioning me, that's all that kept flying through my head was that guy. I was like, oh my God, that guy. What if that guy says he knows me? What if that guy tries to blame me for everything? Because that's like why I was up in front of the JAG officer anyways, because another dude that I met on a taxi ride was trying to say that I gave him drugs, and I was like, no, I gave him $20 and then asked him for an aspirin because I had a headache, and he gave me what I thought was an aspirin, which I found out later was not an aspirin. But I was fine. He got sick though. He got really sick. And I found out later that he was on like a oh God, I can't remember what the military calls it, but they had let him enlist, but on conditions that he was like drug free and stuff, because I guess he had got sent. He had like went up before a judge, and the judge was like, these are your options: go to prison or join the military. And he scored just high enough that the military took him. Like, he made that barely cut. And the funny thing is they hired him to be like campus police, but on base, you know. He was like a warrant officer studying to be. So they put this drug dealer and the military police. I'm like, really? Well, this dude managed to get like his CEO, who was like a head warrant officer, the head of the MPs kind of a thing, got him to like vouch for him kind of a thing. So this dude had all kinds of officers vouching for his, what is that word when they vouch for his, well, forget it, you know what I mean. And I had no one vouching for me because I was new on base, you know. But I was lucky. I mean, it was God, really, because I had one female JAG officer who I first met with, and she's the one who kind of told me what was going on, because really they're not supposed to. They were just supposed to like get my side of the story, have me write a statement, and then the other dude wrote a statement, and then basically the lawyers read them and then try to decide who's telling the truth, kind of a thing. Well, I went in and I talked to the lawyer lady, and I was like, I don't even know why I'm here, kind of a thing. And she was like, well, I can't really tell you, but someone reported, you know, that you were doing drugs. And I was like, what? Huh? I'm like, no, I don't do drugs. And then she was like, well, I have to get you to a statement to write. So, and she gave me like a piece of paper that was all official and stuff, and a pen and a clipboard. And then she's like, and I'm going to step out. She's like, we already got his statement. And then she tapped like a little binder thing on her desk. She was like, we already got his statement, so I'm going to let you write yours, and I'm going to step out, and then I'll be back, you know, when you're done. And I'm like, okay. And then she kind of like slid his statement, she slid it across the desk to where I could see it. And then she was like, okay, I'm going to step out now. So when she stepped out, I got to read what he wrote. And that's like, you're not supposed to do that. And I was shocked. This dude lied so bad. He lied so bad. And I was like, oh, I'm toast. I'm toast if they believe this. There was not one sentence of this guy's report that was true. And I'm like, oh Lord, I am so toast. So I wrote my version of what happened, which didn't look anything like his version. And then I just did the test me. That's what I told him. I was like, test me, drug test me. I'm not gonna pop positive, drug test me. And they were like, okay. So they did, and I drug tested, and I didn't pop positive because I knew I wouldn't. And he did, of course. And then I had to go up before my admiral and explain my actions. And I was like, I am guilty of getting in the wrong taxi. That was the only thing I was guilty of. I took a taxi to an underground rave. I didn't know I was in a taxi to an underground rave. I thought I was going to a Puddle of Mud concert in Chicago. I had tickets for a freaking concert. Me and my bunkmate were going to a concert. And on base, they do like rideshare things. Where all these like vehicles that have been inspected and got permission to be on base, they come to base like taxis, and they wait around the roads, and then when people need rides to places, you can choose to pay for like the whole fare, which could be like, you know, anywhere $50-$60, or you can wait and share a ride with other people, and then your fare is cheaper. So that's what we usually do. We wait and share rides, and then, you know, it costs you like $3 to $5 to get wherever you want to go, which is nice. So me and my friend walked around trying to find, and we kept asking people like, are you going to this concert? Are you going to this concert? And they were like, no. And then someone was like, oh, that person is going. And so my friend came and ran up to me, and she was like, yeah, I found the van that's going. And I was like, cool. So we got in it, some hippie looking people, and we started driving. And then I'm like, we missed our exit. And then I looked at my friend, I was like, where are we going? She's like, I don't know. So I asked I went up front because it was like a big camper van thing. So we were in towards the front. So I kind of like got out of my seat and tapped not the driver because I didn't want to go off the road, but his wife who was with them. And I was like, we missed our exit. And she was like, no, honey, no, we're going somewhere else. And I was like, oh crap. No, we were supposed to be going to a concert. And she's like, yeah, we got a better concert to take you. And I was like, okay. And then she took us to an underground rave at the train yard. And I was like, oh crap. As soon as we got there, I was like, oh crap. Because our admiral had told us not to go to this underground rave by the train yard. We weren't to do it. And I'm like, how in the world did these people who were on base, who were taxis for base, how and why did they take us to an illegal underground rave? One that everybody on base knows you're not supposed to go to. So that's what I got in trouble for, was for disobeying my captain's orders. All right, I gotta go. Bye.